Hello guys, Dan here from Thomas WordPress Support. In this video I'm going to take you through how to build a page using Lamark for WordPress as well as the Elementor page builder plugin. So to begin with, we're going to create something like our home page here with a nice hero area, some text, etc. I'm just going to show you generally how it all works so you get an idea of how to use it. So to start with, let's go to New and Page and create a new page. Just give it a random title of welcome. And the important part to bear in mind is at this stage we want to select the correct template. So to do that, under the template section here, choose the page builder template and we're ready to publish. Okay, let's start the editor and see what we're doing. Okay, so we can see we've got a blank canvas to work with. We've got the header and footer with a nice big content area here ready to fill in with everything we want. So to start with, let's add a new section, and we're going to create a hero section similar to what you've seen in the demo. So to begin with, let's specify its height. The thing to bear in mind with Elementor, each block etc. has its own options via this little, you can get to it via this little toolbar at the top here. And if you're not familiar with what a particular button does, if you just hover over it for a moment, you'll see a little tooltip pop up. Okay, so we're going to edit this section, and to start with we're going to specify a height. I'll set this to be, about there, looks good. We're going to give it a background image. So we go to the Style tab, and under Background we select Classic, and pop our image in here. Now you've got complete control of how this image behaves, so it really is up to you. You can specify how it's positioned, etc. My favourite thing to do with these images though, to make sure it's perfectly responsive and covers the area as needed, under Size, select Cover, and it will take care of all of that for you. Now that image looks good as it is, but I would like a little overlay on top of that, which obviously looks very good and quite modern these days. So under the background overlay options we can choose Classic again. Let's go fancy, we can have the gradient type. So we can choose our first colour, we'll make that a nice purplish hue. And then the second colour, we'll make that a little bit blue, a bit darker, so that's really cool. Next up, I'm going to add some columns here. Now you could simply add text to that if you wanted to, just by popping in a text editor. But I think what I'd prefer is to have a nice backgrounded area here, and then text on top of that. So to do that, I'll get rid of this first. And to do that, we're going to add some columns. So we'll drop that into our little content area here. I want 3 columns, so I'm going to add another. We can do that with this little tab here and selecting Add Column. And because I want this middle column to be where we house our bit of text, we'll shrink the left hand one and the right hand one, and this gives us a nice little area to work with. So to start, I'll give this a background colour. And to do this, we click on the Edit Column Settings here. And within its settings we go to the Style tab, under background type we can choose Classic, and I'll give this a nice white background, I think. Okay, great. I'm just going to pop in some text into here as well. So you can see now we've actually added some content, the background is now visible also. So let's go ahead and pop in our own text here. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's make this a nice big heading. So we'll make that a nice H1. Oopsie daisy. I want to make that. Yeah, that looks quite cool. So let's center align it. And you'll notice the text is right at the top and bottom extreme of this column. If we want to add some padding around it, again like the demo, under the advanced tab here for the text block, you can actually specify your own padding as well. Now this little link here, this lock I suppose, actually makes the padding all the same. So if you enter one value into one of the fields, it'll repeat for all of them. You can untick that, and then it will allow you to control the paddings totally separately. So I'll give it 80 at the top, none at the sides, and 100 at the bottom. And there we go, we've got a nice little area, nice little hero area with complete control in no time. So moving on, if we add a new section below this, and this one I will make a little thinner, so I'll use one of the pre-built layouts here. You can see that's given us a nice set of columns for us. Rather than having the content that I'm about to add right up against the top of this, I'll give it a bit of space. So to do this, we can edit the section, and again under advanced we can pop in our own padding as we want. So I'll pop in 120 on the top and 100 on the bottom. I'm now ready to add some content in the middle, so I'll put in a nice welcome message. Now obviously you'd probably want to put some more relevant content than this, but for the sake of this demo you can see exactly what I'm aiming for. Perfect. Below this we're going to start adding our portfolio feed, so we can add a new section, make it one big column, and from our content blocks here, right at the bottom you can see our portfolio posts. So we can drop that in, choose our layout. I think in this particular one I would like to have a 3-column masonry layout. Now it's normal for the actual post not to show at this point. What we can do is apply the changes, and if we take a look at the actual page, oops, let me just actually save that. There we are. You can see we've got our lovely hero area, we've got the text we've added, and below this we've got our portfolio. Absolutely wonderful. You can see it looks great, easy to build. What could you ask for? So back into the builder, we'll add one more section for the blog, which is again something you may want to do. So we'll hit add section, we'll make it one big area here. I'm going to give this one a slightly different background colour to kind of offset against the rest, so we'll go into the settings and under style, background, I'm just going to choose a nice light grey, and just to make sure the content has a bit of spacing around it, I'll add some padding as well. So what we can then do is drop in our blog post block, and choose the layout again. I'll choose the nice grid, hit apply, and again if we take a look at the actual page, you'll see we've got everything working perfectly with the blog post ready to go. And that's essentially it. You can experiment with the builder as you wish. Obviously there may be quite a bit to get used to, so we suggest you fiddle around and play with it. If you do have any problems or anything, do come see me over at support. Other than that, I do hope this has been useful, and enjoy your theme.